Good morning, sports fans, or in this case, jewelry making fans. This is Virginia Milner coming to you for the DeKalb County Library System. And I wanted to show you some different ways that you can use chip beads to make earrings. Now, I'm using shell chips, mother of pearl chips, because I'm just in that kind of mood and have been for a couple of weeks. But you can use any kind of chips you want. Get a lot of chips and then try to figure out things to do with them. It's really cute as an embellishment, but what do you do if you want to use it for an entire project? So that's what we're going to look at today. So what we're going to need are our usual pliers, round nose, square nose, and cutters. You'll need a ruler and 20 or 18 gauge wire. I'm using 20 gauge wire, head pins, eye pins, chain, just small lengths of chain. And what else do I have out here? And your beads, your chip beads. So let's get started. We have 3 pairs of earrings to make, so let's get going. All right, the first ones that I want to do are going to be these little cuties right here. It's just a bar at the bottom with a spiral on the ends, hung off a chain, a triangle of chain, and we're going to make our own ear wires, by the way. That too. So the first thing that we're going to do is cut whatever length of chain you want. And the length of chain you decide to use is going to be, is going to be what extends the bar at the bottom as wide as you want it to be. And then of course, the length of chain that you cut will make a difference as to how it looks here. So what I've done is cut a little over an inch of chain, and I have enough of a bar so that when it's finished, it comes also to about 1 1/8 inches. So each piece is the same length so that I have a triangle effect. So that's for my ear wire. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut a length of chain. And because I'm putting a little bit of spiral on the sides, I'm going to give myself 3 inches. Again, it depends on how long you want your bar to be. This is not an exact science, but I know I want my chain to come down to end up as about 1 1/8 inches. So I need 2 3/4 to 3 inches of wire for that 20 gauge wire. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is make a spiral on the end. I'm going to grab the tip of my wire with the tip of my pliers and start making a loop. Let's make one little loop. And once I get to the back of my wire, I'm going to continue my spiral until I get about, I'm going about 1.5 times around, like so. Now, when I finish this, I want to squeeze these wires together so that the loop is touching the back so that nothing slides around. But for now, I need to leave it kind of open so I can attach my chain. There we go. Now I'm going to put my beads on. I want my beads, since I've already made one, I want to make sure that the beads are put on in the same way that they're on this one. So what have I got here? I've got this nice mix of colors. Blue, I'm using my voice again. Fuchsia, green, orange, purple, and turquoise. And I like to kind of flip them around a little bit so that I have as little wire showing between the chips as possible. That's the thing about chips. They are not cut in, they're not uniform cut. So you might end up with some wire between your beads unless you kind of move them around so that you can take care of any spaces that might be in between. Okay, so now I can see I have a lot of wire left. I'm going to make my loop a little bit. I'm going to give myself another quarter of a turn. Give myself a little bit more of a spiral here. So I'm going to go right in here and just continue the turn. So I have a little bit more spiral on the end. Grab that end and give myself just a little bit more there. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the other side, and I know that I only need about 3/4 of an inch to do this spiral. So I'm going to cut off the excess that I have. Yeah, there we go. Just snip that off. And it still looks a little long. I need 3/4, Virginia, 3/4. Got about 7/8. Snip off just about another 1/8. And let's make the spiral on the other end. Again, I'm going to grab the, the tip of my wire with the tip of my pliers, make a loop. And continue my loop, just continue wrapping the wire around itself about 1.5 times. Let's see what I've got here. I'm going to go in and close this circle up a little bit so it's not quite as big. This inside circle. It's going to close it up a little. So I'm going to go in with my pliers and there, just make it a little smaller. And you just want to adjust it until it looks the way you want it to look. All these little beads around so that I can get rid of any excess space. There we go. And just adjust it until it looks the way I want. A little bit more. So I want that spiral close to the bead. There we go. And just make any little adjustments that you need to make. There we go. Now let's attach our chain. So again, you want to cut the length of chain that you want. You can measure it out so that it equals the same distance between the beads and your spiral so that you have a nice triangle, which is what I'm going for. And then you want to find the center of your chain to attach your ear wire. But first I'm going to go ahead and attach it to my earring. So I'm going to put the first loop, take this off here. Let's take that little loop off. Okay. That's the one that I cut. I'm going to take this first loop, the end loop, and I'm going to string it into the tail end of my earring. Let's put that in there. Trying to do it in such a way that you can see it's a small process. So my fingers are probably in your way. Sorry about that. And I'm just putting the last loop of my chain over the end of my wire. I'm going to string that on. Like so. Oh, it came right off. That's the next thing that we have to do, is make sure it doesn't come off. That last loop over that tail end. Get in there, get in there, get in there. Now I use my pliers. String that on, I think. I know, might be a little tight. Maybe I need to open it up a little bit so I can get it in there easier. There we go. Stay there. I loop that around. Onto my earring. There we go. And once I get it on my earring, I want to make sure it doesn't come back off. So I'm going to squeeze these little bars that are down here near the beads together, so that now my chain will stay in place. I want to do the same thing on the other side. Let's put that last ring over the tail of my wire and bring it around. Like so. So there we go, and squeeze this together so that the chain will come off. Yeah. Now we're going to make an ear wire. So what I have here is 2 inches of 20 gauge wire. And I'm going to start by making a little loop on the end. Take the tip of my pliers and grab the tip of my wire, and then I'm going to slide my wire down about, on my pliers, it's about 1/4 of the way, and just make a small loop. Rotate my pliers, open, rotate back and clamp back down, and then rotate again. And I'm going to continue to do that until I have a nice closed loop. There we go. Then I'm going to take, in this case, what I used was a pencil, and I want to match up my ear wire to the one that I've already made. So you can take any cylindrical item. It depends on how big you want this little opening to be. You can use a pencil, you can use the back of your round nose pliers. It's up to you. But I'm going to go down here to just above my loop, and the loop side is facing away from the cylindrical item, maybe about 1/8 of an inch above at the most. And then I'm going to wrap the tail of my wire around that item, in this case a pencil. Until I have a nice half loop here. And then I'm going to take my fingers and just shape it, give it a gentle curve. Just a little curve there. Here we go. And I'm going to take the tip of my round nose or square nose pliers and put a little ledge on the end. And there's my ear wire. Easy as pie. Nice. Now I'm going to attach it to my earring. So now I need to find the center of my earring. You can kind of eyeball it, or you can use a ruler and measure it out, or you can count your little loops to see where your centerpiece is. I can kind of see where mine is just by laying it out here. Okay, I'm going to open up my loop and attach this to the center. I am just having a time today. Get off of there, get off of there. It's easier if I use my pliers, so that's what I'm going to do. And attach to the center. Oh, Virginia. It should not be this difficult. I'm going to scare everyone away. Let's try it again. And probably one of the reasons is I'm trying to do this on camera where you can see it. It's a lot easier if I can just lay it down and do it. Let's see, I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to just lay it down. Let's see if we can do it that way. Makes it easier for me. Hopefully easy enough for you. Let's try the other hand. Get in there. It really isn't that hard. It really isn't. I'm just making it more difficult for some odd reason than it needs to be. All right. Close that up. And there we have it. There are my earrings. Neat, huh? I like that. Let's go on to the next pair. The next pair is also involving chain and head pins and your own ear wire that you're going to make. This is very, very simple. All I need to do is decide what beads I want to put on. In this case, let's see. I'm going to grab an eye pin or a head pin. I'm going to put on a purple bead, a turquoise bead, and an orange bead. Ooh, that's a big orange bead. This is very organic, so these chips are not going to be all the same size. And anybody that's worked with chips at all ever will know that. And now I'm going to make a little loop. I just need about ½ an inch at the most to make my loop. Let's see if this is good. I'm going to slide my pliers, my wire about, a 1/3 of the way down my pliers. Make a nice little loop here. Okay. And then grab the other set, in this case, pink, green, and yellow. These are going to be very, very springy, summery, springy earrings. You can wear these with anything. But again, like I said, you do not have to use this kind of chip. You can use any chips you want. Cut this down to about ½ an inch. Make my loop. Again, I'm going to grab my wire with my pliers. Just make a nice little loop. Rotate until it's closed. There we go. And now the way we make this graduated is I cut 2 pieces of chain. You decide what length you want. And I just wanted it to be enough so that the beads, the beads are hanging below each other like that. You decide how long you want them to be and how much of a dangle you need or would like. So I'm going to put my first set on in this one, I have the one with the pink on the bottom is on my short chain. So I'm going to open up my loop and slide my chain on my wire, close it, or actually it's a head pin, which is made of wire. Close it up. It's very strong head pin. Okay, and grab my other one. Put it on my other length of chain. And now I need to attach both of these to my ear wire. Now, they need to be mirror image. So my short one needs to go on the inside. My longer one needs to go on the outside. So I have a mirror image earring. So turn it that way and open up my loop. And you open up your loops the same way you open a jump ring. You want to open it to the side. You don't want to separate the loop from the wire. You just want to kind of turn it up, open it to the side like that. Long one on first because it's on the outside. Or inside, wait. Oh, short one first. Because it's on the inside, closest to the long wire. Get on there. And again, I'm just looping it over that last loop. And then the long chain on the outside. Oh goodness, get on there. There we go. Close my loop. And would you look at that? I have another pair of earrings. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, the last one we're going to do is really ornate. So we're going to make this nice 3-tier. And what we need for that, I don't think I mentioned this. I have one of these 3-loop end clasp type things. It's just a connector. It's got 3 little loops and 1 hook on the back and 1 loop on the back. That loop on the back is what I connect to the ear wire, and the 3 loops connect to my bead. So let's do that. All right, so what have we got here? So I'm gonna try to do it the same way, even though there's so many beads, you don't have to. It's up to you. I'm going to do it the same. So I've got purple, I've got green, and then purple on the first one. Orange, and that's the head pin. The ones on the bottom of my loops of my chain are going to have head pins, and the connectors are going to be eye pins. So I've got the bottom one on my head pin. I'm going to go to my eye pin. I'm going to put an orange bead and a blue bead. And then a pink bead at the top. And I'm going to connect this. I'm going to make a loop here. So I'm going to bend my wire back like so, because when you make a loop from the side, it ends up on the top, which is what we want. Now I only need about 1/2 inch to make my loop. So I'm going to snip that off onto that 1/2 inch. And I'm going to go down about 1/3 of the way down my pliers and make a loop, just like we've done before. Rotate, open my pliers, rotate back, clamp down, and rotate until I have a nice, full, closed loop, like so. There we go. Then I'm going to go on to the next one on my list, which is my orange one. I think I've got just about enough. I just need to take a little bit of the tip off to get it down to that 1/2 inch that I want. Bend it back, and I want my loops to go the same direction. Again, I'm going to go 1/3 of the way down my pliers and rotate until I have a closed loop. There we go. Yes. And last but not least, this one doesn't even need to be cut. How do you like that? And rotate until my loop is closed. And there we go. Now we're just going to put them all together. I'm going to start this. This is the bottom, the middle, and the top. Just going to open up one of my loops In this case, the one on the bottom, which is the orange one, because it matches the one I've got here. Open that up. Attach my loops together. A little bit more open. Slide one loop inside the other. Close that loop up. Nice and tight. And attach the third one. Open that loop up. There we go. Close it. Nice. And then we're going to do the same with the other two. Now in the middle, I have put another little dangle at the bottom just so I could have a different length in the center. So we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and here's my head pin. Oh, I thought I had another one. I don't. I have to go get one. Just a second. Just a second. I'll be back. I have returned with the head pin. Okay, so what have I got down here? I've got a little turquoise bead and oops, a little iridescent square shell. Put those on. Bend my wire back. Snip that down to about 1/2 inch. Look at that tail. And close up my loop. And then I'm just going to add the rest. Just like I did here. Just add the rest of my beads. Now I want to show you how to attach it to this because I had promised that I wasn't going to take all day doing this so that everybody can see how easy it is. I'm going to attach this set of beads to my little connector here. So just open up my loop, slide it onto the end loop of my connector, and close. Then I'm going to do the same with the other two and attach it to my ear wire. And again, you're just going to make all of your ear wires. Or you can attach it to a prefab ear wire. So I'm going to attach that to the top of my connector. And close it. Now, just to embellish a little bit, I took some of the beads and I put them on the ear wire, like so, just to give it a little extra oomph. So just slide a bead on there. And what other color do I have on here? Yellow? Yes. You might have to play with it a little bit. Make sure that you can get them on there. There we go. Here's one that wants to cooperate with me. And there we are. Nicely embellished ear wire. And then once you finish, you have this lovely earring. Now, you might be asking, but won't that come off? That's why we have these little ear stoppers. Just put one of those little backers on there, keeps your earring from coming out of your ear, and it holds any extra beads that you choose to put on there to embellish onto your ear wire. That's it, ladies and gents. I wanted this to be a very, very, very simple way for you to use your chips, and I think we have achieved that. So we have 3 sets of earrings. What do you think? Neat, huh? Let's get it on the camera here so that you can see what we have. I like it. Just another way to use your chips. What do you think, everybody? You got to tell me what you think. I like these. I think they're kind of cute. And I can see this with all different kinds of chips too. Anyway, let me know what you think, what you thought. Any suggestions or questions or answers that you need, please feel free to get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me at jewelrygin20@gmail.com. That's JEWELRYGIN20@gmail.com. Or you can post your version of any or all of these earrings on the library Facebook page. Please do. We really, really, really love to hear from you. And I'd love to see what you do with this little project. So until next time, you have a great week, have a great weekend, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.